Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today, we're looking at the top 10 world cities that will completely disappear by 2100. The next time you take a trip to see the magnificent beaches of Mali, take a leisurely gondola ride around Venice, or wonder at the architecture of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, make sure to bring your best camera. If scientific studies are accurate, photos will be the only way your great-great-grandchildren will see them. Mother Nature has slated a number of places to significantly shrink or disappear from the Earth entirely by 2100 due to climate change, changing soil and sea levels, natural disasters, and economic problems. It's not too late, but these places may very well become the next Atlantis. Let's get started.
Number 10. San Francisco, USA. Most people realize the earthquake danger in San Francisco, yet the enormity of the potential devastation is almost beyond comprehension. According to the University of California, research forecasts a 75% probability that an earthquake of a 7 or greater magnitude will occur by 2086. Will the survivors elect to rebuild the majestic city? Will they be able to? Prior to Katrina, the population of New Orleans was close to 500,000. Afterwards, the population shrunk by about half. It's rising again, but the demographics are still far lower than they were pre-Katrina. The population of San Francisco is about 900,000. Tall structures abound, and there's no such thing as a completely earthquake-proof structure. In fact, the population of San Francisco is shrinking. Not only is the city pricey, but many are wondering where they or their relatives may end up with the city's hazardous coastline and predicted disasters. Number 9. Venice, Italy. One of the world's most romantic cities has been sinking for about a millennium. The pace has increased rapidly over the last 100 years, with the soil level sinking about 24 centimeters. Venice's vulnerability to sea and groundwater level change is extremely serious. For example, 100 years ago, St. Mark's Square flooded around 9 times per year, and now it's inundated with water 100 times per year. The government has been working on plans to protect Venice, but will they work? No one knows. Preserving Venice has been a priority for the Italian government for about 30 years. Several billion euros have been dedicated to a major flood defense system called the MOSE project. Proposed since the 1970s, it's basically a series of floodgates to stretch across 3 openings that connect the Venetian lagoon with the Adriatic Sea. However, the progress of the project has been checkered with stops and starts, new completion dates, and now possible illegality. Many top officials were arrested on corruption charges involving MOSE. It's been suggested that the city be moved to higher land altogether to protect its population and precious art and frescoes. Number 8. Detroit, USA. Motor City may become Abandoned City as the population of Detroit continues to decline. If these trends keep up, Detroit will be changed beyond recognition by 2100. The culprits include major economic and demographic decline, including moves to the suburbs. At its peak in the 1950s, the population was 1.85 million, compared with its present 701,000 inhabitants. Global competition in the automobile industry, significant unemployment, crime rates, and severe urban decay have rocked the city. In 2013, Detroit filed the largest municipal bankruptcy case in American history. The unemployment rate is 23.1%, and 1/3 are living below the poverty level. Parts of the city are already ghost towns as urban decay has set into once thriving communities. Some areas look completely wild. Detroit has some of the highest crime rates in the United States. In 2012, their murder rate was 53 per 100,000, 10 times that of New York City. In 2012, a Forbes report named Detroit the most dangerous city in the United States for the 4th year in a row. In 2010, Mayor Bing put forth a plan to bulldoze 1/4 of the city and to concentrate the population into certain areas to improve the delivery of essential city services. In February 2013, the Detroit Free Press reported the mayor's plans to accelerate the program and desire for federal funding to tackle Detroit's problem in order to right-size the city's resources to reflect the smaller population. Number 7. Ivanovo, Russia. This district capital and administrative center of Ivanovo Oblast is in serious decline. Once a major textile center, the city attracted women seeking work. This created a significant gender imbalance that gave it the nickname the City of Brides. Since the breakup of the Soviet Union, 60% of the population had to live on the food they grew, the survival strategy known as the Dakhma movement. Growing textile competition from China and other emerging economies also eroded the economy. The combination of low birth rate, high poverty, crime, drug and alcohol abuse, high mortality rates, poor quality of dwellings, and grey businesses have all but destroyed the once thriving city, as its youth are leaving to seek an education and resettle somewhere with modern industry. Number 6. Mexico City in Mexico. Mexico City began as the home of an ancient empire and grew into one of the world's largest cities, with more than 20 million people living in this modern metropolis. It's built on top of the Aztec capital Tenochtitlan. It was here where, in 1519, Cortez allegedly met Montezuma, the Aztec emperor. After conquering the Aztecs, Cortez, in Spanish tradition, placed the square at the heart of the city, surrounding it by buildings representing the church and the government. Yet the city, home to Diego Rivera murals, cathedrals, and palaces, is literally sinking. The problem is its base. A dried lake bed makes a poor foundation. According to government officials, Mexico City is sinking at a rate of 4 inches a year and has sunk 10 meters in the past 60 years. So be prepared to walk carefully if you visit. Number 5. Banjul, Gambia. The small West African nation of Gambia may lose its capital due to a combination of the rising ocean and erosion. Banjul is at risk of going underwater as sea levels rise by 1 meter as a result of climate change. Settlements will be eroded, and over half of the country's mangrove forests and a fifth of its rice fields will be lost. The decrease in rice production would be disastrous, as would other environmental changes including droughts, floods, and storms. As tourist attractions and fisheries are located in the coastal zones, the economy would be critically affected. The government is trying to improve coastal defenses, but whether they can save the city and the coast is unknown. Number 4. Timbuktu in Mali. When sand dunes advance on fertile land, desertification is a problem. The city in southern Africa facing the greatest danger was a center of Islamic education during the 15th and 16th centuries. Timbuktu is over 1,000 years old and is known for its tourist attractions, which include beautiful beaches with turquoise reefs and many historical sites. Sadly, your grandchildren may have to find other exotic locations to go snorkeling, as some parts are already half buried in sand despite several projects to regreen the area. Number 3. Naples in Italy. Naples is the magnificent capital of the Italian region Campania and is the third largest municipality in the country. As of 2012, the population was around 960,000 with an urban area of around 3.5 million, making it one of the largest metropolises on the Mediterranean Sea. One of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, Naples' historic city centre is the largest in Europe and is listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Naples has long been a major cultural centre with a global sphere of influence, particularly during the Renaissance and Enlightenment eras. Visitors are treated to historically significant sites including the Palace of Caserta and the Roman ruins of Pompeii and Herculaneum. Its nemesis has been the time bomb, Mount Vesuvius, located in the Bay of Naples. The volcano that destroyed Pompeii in 79 BC erupts about every 100 years, with the last eruption coming in 1944. It's expected to do damage once again in the mid-2000s, putting the city and 500,000 people in the red zone if they're not evacuated in time. Number 2. Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok is in trouble. The city is sinking while sea levels are rising. Building foundations are being pushed into the muddy soil and underground aquifers are being drained for drinking water. Rising sea levels are the real problem though, with estimates giving the city no more than a century until the streets become canals. While scientists agree that the problem needs to be addressed, they disagree on the best solution, while the government doesn't appear to be looking for any solution at all. The city won't flood overnight, but if you want to check out the awesome robot building, it may be better to go sooner rather than later. Number 1. Other American cities in jeopardy. Rising seas and global warming have put US coastal cities at risk. Residents should consider either seeking higher ground or avoiding any long-term investments. Since 1989, global sea levels have raised about 8 inches, and they're still climbing. Rising seas dramatically increase the odds of damaging flooding from storm surges. One analysis found the odds of floods occurring by 2030 are on track to double or worse. Nearly 5 million Americans live less than 4 feet above high tide. In decades, New York City, New Orleans, Boston, Washington, D.C., and southeast Florida may be overcome by flood conditions made worse by climate change. Other cities that could be affected include Baltimore, Charleston, Houston, Galveston, Los Angeles, Long Island, Sacramento, Philadelphia, Delaware, Portland, Providence, San Diego, Savannah, Seattle, Tacoma, Virginia Beach, and Norfolk. That pretty much just leaves Kansas, but then you'd run into the tornado problem. Oh, and you'd have to live in Kansas.
So I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give us a like below. It really helps out. And don't forget to subscribe because we put out brand new videos just like this 7 days a week. And if you enjoyed this list about places that are going to disappear, you'll also enjoy our list about nations that are probably going to disappear by 2115. So click on that on the right. And then below that, we've also got another video, the top 10 evil actions by usually nice countries. So be sure to check those out. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And thank you for watching.